everything that I have done and you're going to see tonight is built on this fast client enrollment system. And the way that I'm going to encourage you to be different and not be the same as everybody else, first and foremost, is be the prize.
This is the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast for entrepreneurs and business owners looking for cool online tools, apps and strategies to make business easy online. My name is Nick Cree and I'm your host. Each episode features a guest expert demystifying the online universe, sharing inspirational ideas and providing tested real-world strategies to help you get the most of what's available online to grow your business today. Don't be a slave to your business, get your business working for you. Subscribe now and get some great content and ideas for you and your business today. All right, well, there we go. That's cool online tools, which brings us to introducing our main topic for tonight, which is discover the networking secrets that will get you to six figures in 6 months. So this is all about using some of the online tools. One of the great things that's happened, I was going to say happened recently. It's just become more obvious recently, is that we don't have to be stuck to dealing or sort of doing business just in a 50-kilometer radius from where we live. We can literally do business anywhere in the world. I know some of us are already doing that, but we have Steve Brosman here who's going to be talking about how to do that. He's known as the sales innovator. He did build a six-figure business in a foreign country during COVID. A wee bit about Steve. He is a national professional track champion. So if you wonder why he looks so fit and healthy, that's why. He used to train like a demon when he was younger. In fact, he still trains like a demon. So out there, you'll see his Facebook posts out there on a bike in a beautiful part of the country. He's had 9, can you believe 9 Amazon #1 best-selling books. So he really does walk his talk. He is a good-looking dude, which as you can see, and he spent 20 years in TV and on video, and he's hosted his own TV show on Channel 9. So we are in the presence of TV royalty here. So he's been the executive producer for Warner Brothers as well too. So he does have, he has created several six and seven figure multinational businesses, and he's including inventing and marketing an environmental product. I didn't know about that. So an environmental product which sold 4 million units in 26 countries. So he's really got the runs on the board. He's spoken in 15 different countries, trained over 65,000 entrepreneurs. I can be claimed to be one of those 65,000 that he's trained, and he's really helped them to really stand out in their market. So last year, he was published alongside 40 of the world's most innovative marketers, and his latest back pocket guide is self-selling secrets, and he's helping businesses and professionals to attract high quality clients so more easily, including having them to ask people to buy. So he is here tonight to talk to us about how to do some of those things that he's done himself. He has a wealth of knowledge, wealth of information, well worth listening to. And so I would say get your pen and paper ready, or your keyboard and fast fingers. And let's welcome to the stage with a rousing virtual round of applause, Steve Brosman.
Thanks, Nick. Hi, everybody. There's some great familiar faces here, people that I've worked with, people that I've just run into, seen in different places, networking events. And the way that I do things is I do something, I look backwards and say, look at that, that works. Maybe that could help people. And then I start teaching it. It was only a couple of months ago that I was looking back at what happened through COVID and how I was coming out and what I was doing coming out the other side of COVID, and how my business had exploded in America. And I went back and looked at it, and the first, I think it was 10 or 11 months, Nick. I don't know where you got the 6 from. I mean, I think you're a reverse fisherman. The longer you talk, the shorter the time period got.
Oh, I was just sort of thinking that's what I wanted to do, and you're going to show me how to do that.
Well, I tell you what, looking at what's happening now, it's easily adding 6 figures every 6 months without a problem. So I'm going to share the thought process that people get stuck into in networking and how to break out of that and how to really leverage. And I'm going to look at the multi-dimensional networking, which I came up this afternoon as a title, because most people are stuck in just looking forward, practicing. I've got to get my talk right. I've got to get my elevator pitch right. I've got to get my elevator pitch right. I'm not really listening to anybody, not listening to opportunities. And I've got to get my ideal client right. That is really single dimensional. And I'm going to share some different breakout rooms that I was in, not big, and the results that have come from those. Now I'm going to need to, I should be able to share my screen here. If I've got a thumb up from anybody that says yes, rock and roll. So here's the quick story. It was January 2021. And I was always looking overseas during our summer and wondering why the hell businesses hibernate for 2 months. And everybody overseas is just working feverishly, doing some great things. I said, stuff it. I'm gonna have a crack at it. And that was as scary as all hell. I've done a little bit over there. I've worked with a couple of people over there, but to really take on and say, hey, I'm here. I don't know about you people in your business life, whenever you go to the next level or the next level, it's like, well, you've got to break through, and be uncomfortable. Like you, I was like that. I was basically shitting myself going over to compete against the big boys and think, who's this fake guy from Australia? What's he? I was a reasonable fish in a reasonable pond, but going to America, I was just as doubting myself as any of you had at any time. So I said, okay, what have I got to do? Luckily in COVID, so many people were not able to do what they were wanting to do. They weren't going to have their meetings, their coffee meetings, their long lunches, and they had to get on Zoom. And fortunately, I did have a television and a video background, and we did video marketing way back. And I thought, okay, I can help people. I can help them present. I can help them sell. I can help them get in front of the camera. I can help them connect. So I put together very quickly the art and science of virtual selling. And it just opened doors. It smashed down doors. It was just a runaway success. Getting into networking meetings with professionals is like, are you having trouble? Well, I've written the Back Pocket Guide, the art and science of virtual selling. By the way, yes, I do have 9 Amazon bestsellers. I am bloody lazy now. I don't write another book. I write a more powerful version of a 40-minute read. It's a set formula. I'm working with another publishing company in America. We've got the formula down right. So people actually get a taste of you personally, as well as your knowledge, with the view of, I've got enough, I want to talk to you. And every networking event that I go to, there is always a back pocket guide given away somewhere. I've written Self-Selling Secrets, the art and science of virtual selling, how to sell yourself without selling your soul, and the back pocket guide to the 36-minute LinkedIn sales funnel. They're all my back pocket guides. So they're all selected to, hey, here is a gift. Now, the reason I called it the back pocket guide and not an ebook. An ebook now is perceived as a throwaway piece of crap to get somebody's email address. It could be the best life-changing content on the planet, but the perception is I'm giving you something to get your email address off you. I never call it a lead magnet because it's produced as a book. It's only 40 minutes of reading, so it is small, short, but it gives that perception. The back pocket guide, back pocket, small, a guide, it helps. I think I spent more time on the title of the first back pocket guide than I actually did writing it. But that's the thought process that I've put into what do I have to have as collateral that seems valuable that will position me just in a free networking event. I've got a gift. It's one of my back pocket guides. It's my most popular back pocket guide. So that there is all language around positioning. Hi, do you want my free lead magnet? Hey, I got a free ebook. No, I got a gift and it's this title. So I wrote The Art and Science of Virtual Selling because those who are coming to my workshop on Thursday, and you've been to my training before, you'll see that I've rebuilt everything from the bottom up. I've been geeking out for 3 years on neuroscience and buying behavior more than selling tools. And it's totally reversed the way that I'm thinking, the way that I'm selling, and the way that I'm helping people take the damn stress out of selling themselves. So I transported myself. I said, I'm going to go. I had one connection into one networking group. It was a 3-day event, and that's where it all started. And from there, it was meet people who met people who said, you've got to meet this person. You've got to come to this event. The first time I actually counted was 11 months later, and it was well in excess of those 6 figures. So, Nick, you might have been close, but I wasn't never really going to claim that. Okay, so for those you've been hanging around me long enough, know that I love blueprints. I love the visuals and the way that we actually use them. Everything that I have done, and you're going to see tonight, is built on this fast client enrollment system. And the way that I'm going to encourage you to be different and not be the same as everybody else, first and foremost, is be the prize. Now, I could go through some quick questions. We're going to have a lot of workshopping on Thursday. Is how do you move from an A? Do you call yourself, if you introduce yourself at a networking event, hi, my name is Steve Brosman and I am a sales trainer. You're an A. You're the same as everybody else. Basically, you're a brown box. I call the brown box syndrome. It could be gold inside, but if you call yourself a business consultant, an accountant, a planner, an advisor, if you're an A, it doesn't get a lot of attention. If you are a V, your authority positioning goes up, goes through the roof. And what I talk about is the buying energy goes skyrocketing high. Wow, I'm going to talk to V. Okay, so be the prize. Title who you are, what you do as a prize. Now, the interesting thing is, and I remember back when we used to do face-to-face networking events, and when I was driving there, the 15, 20 minutes of wherever I was driving, do you know what I was doing? I was rehearsing the exact elevator pitch that would be most appropriate for the people that I was going to be with. Now, I've had 20 years of TV. I've been on TV in 5 different continents, but everyone that I went to, who are the people that are going to be there? What do I have to say to connect with those people? Not tell them about me, but connect with them, inspire and intrigue them. Your elevator pitch is not to inform, it's to intrigue. For people to say, wow, that's interesting. I need to talk to that person. Not, oh, I know what he does. It's huge. Absolutely. That alone, if you turn that around and say what your intro is delivered with passion and energy, but in a way that people thinks, wow, that's interesting. I need to talk to that person. And that you can do by going from an A to a D. There's so many other different ways that I've learned from some great people and have developed myself for people to think, I've got to talk to that person. So first and foremost, be the prize. Don't be a brown box. Then there's the energy. And I'm going to talk about energy in the rooms a little bit later. And I've had 2 people, there's actually a father and son that were at the same networking group that were in 2 different rooms that I was in. They both went back to each other when they got off and said, hey, Dad, hey, son, we're going to work with Steve. He's got some great stuff, but just love his energy. That opens conversations, because how many times have you seen people in networking events, all they're focusing on is what they're about to say, and well, I'm not really what I'm not sure. Well, maybe I do this. I'm really passionate about this, and I want to help these people. the neuroscience of I want to and we do this, and anybody that's got we are passionate about this and we do this is actually basically cutting yourself in the throat. The study is that the we language, we help people, we want to, I want to, I'm passionate about, I like helping people, that there is all about you and the 20% reaction, whereas you start really focusing back on, I help people and this is the results that they get. These are the people that this, and talk all about them. It goes from 20 to 47%. So think about the language on what it is that you're doing in those conversations. And particularly if you're putting it on your website. A lot of people that I've worked with, I've gone through and just reworded everything from the we to the you. And there's some studies and science on all of that. And then when we eventually get on the call, then we've got the blueprint we go through. So I'm not going to start doing this. So here's some of the people I've geeked out with. This is the stuff that they do. I trust these people. They got the EEGs, the ECGs, the eye trackers, the GCRs, and they measure absolutely everything. And I've gone through all of these studies, and here's the one here with the we, you language, the sales presentations, the neuroscience and credibility, all of those, plus I've actually should have added to this, 25 more reports and webinars. It's now 27. That I've sat through and digested and saying, how can I bring this back to my people to make it understandable? And that's what I've been doing for 3 years, is like rebuilding from the bottom up, but built on pure science, not guesswork. And doing it this way, we've actually made it so much easier and taken the stress out of people selling. How many people here just hit the number 1 button if you just want to be a hotshot salesperson? Hit the number 2 button if you want to understand people and how they buy and serve them better so they ask to buy from you. We got 1s and 2s like through, actually. There we go, all the numbers going through up there. Yeah, a lot of 2s. Yeah. And as much as you think that I'm a hotshot salesperson, I love selling. No, I love serving people. My definition of selling is professionally servicing other people's needs for a mutually beneficial gain. And you start off with professionally servicing. Okay, so here's where we're going through the 6-figure networking system. And I built a heap of, I played around with it this Arvo. And I've actually been working on this and been doing this myself in my own business for 4 years. The 36-minute LinkedIn sales funnel. I'll actually show you what that is in just a second. Somebody that connects with me, an inbound connection over a collection of 36 minutes can actually become a client. And I've done it with somebody who's come to try and sell to me. I used to have a conversion rate of those dipstick connection things of 10% of people that come to me to sell to me. Now, there's so many of them, I just can't keep up. But I used to have delight in working with these people and then taking them on board as clients. But that's good. Networking, referrals and joint venture partners from networking. That's where the big dollars are. And podcasts. I'm about to produce how to become an in-demand podcast guest. Okay, and there's a lot to it. And I learned a lot as people were throwing me in for podcasts. There was one guy that absolutely just fell in love with what I did. He said, can I introduce you around? And I said, yeah. He put me on 20 high quality sales podcasts and ended up on the top 5 sales podcasts in America just from this guy. And man, was I crappy. I'll show you who was there. But there are things that you can do and you need to do that will get you on more podcasts. And I was coaching a lady from Arizona today and getting her ready to get on podcasts and helping her create her isms, her own language. And I'll share with you how super important that is. Okay, look, here is the 36-minute LinkedIn sales funnel. I've got to come over here. Somehow people connect with me, whether they're via my live videos, referrals, or LinkedIn. They all come through somehow. They will get sent a reply. I'm not techie. They come in, cut, paste, little tweak, off it goes. Got a link to a video, which is a Hey Steve video. Hey Steve here, great to connect with you, blah, 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 blah. That is building the happy hormones. It's a taste of me. It's like, shit, somebody's talking to me. How many times, and you're probably getting more and more now, and Paul, you've seen this a lot. How many times are you there, you've got a reply come back, and all of a sudden, boom, somebody's talking to you. Hey, great to see you. Love to hear more about what you do. Here's a little bit about what I do, blah, blah, blah. Maybe there's a way we could work together. Blah, blah. Click button, book a call. Let's have a chat. Let's see what happens. Casual, me to you, personality, bright. It's like, wow, that's different. I get nearly 80% of the people come back, basically say, wow, love that video. Yeah, it's the same video that everybody's been getting for 2 years. Shh, don't tell anyone. But it's a, hey, great to see you here. Lovely to meet you. I'd really love to know more about what it is that you do. Ask first. Then, hey, while you're here, here's a little bit about me. Got a couple of books, work with people, a couple of things flash up on the screen. Nice little background and me and Dickie on Branson's Island, positioning, and that's it. Plus, they get one of the most appropriate back pocket guides. Great to connect. As a gift for connecting here, I've got one of my back pocket guides. I'm sure you'll love it. So that is all about giving. Now, they then make an informed decision. I'm an idiot, or man, I've got to work with this guy. I don't want lukewarm. That's where people go wrong. Lukewarm doesn't do you any good. They'll fall in love or can't stand me. And the good thing, I don't get to talk to the people who can't stand me. Nobody books a call in to say, Steve, you are so tacky, which is great. So what's happening here, and those coming Thursday, we will talk a lot about the buying energy. They've seen something, it's triggered it. They've got a video reply and a gift. They're reading it. Then they book in a call. That takes next to nothing. It's automated. Then depending, and I've got heaps of scripts for all of these on what it is and who they are and who I think they might be, and who we got over here. Hey, Rodney, saw your book in for another video goes over just before the call. Hey, Rodney, saw your book in for a call. Man, I can't wait to talk to you. I've had a look at your website and your LinkedIn profile. I have some sensational ideas for you. I can't wait to share. See you Thursday. Or I just send out a generic one. Hey, it's Steve here. I saw your book in for a call. Brilliant. Hey, I've had a look at your LinkedIn profile and I had a look at your website. Got some great ideas that I can't wait to share with you. I'll see you on the call. They don't know that I haven't said their name because it's a shock. What do you think the buying energy is doing there? They've come out of a networking meeting where somebody may or may not even follow up with a thing. Hey, why don't you connect with me and we have a discovery call? You know, those who do come to the training will see that if you call your call a discovery call, I don't have time to go through and do this, you will be reducing buying energy 37%. Reduction of buying energy just by calling it the wrong name. Hey, let's get on a call so I can discover how the hell I'm going to sell to you. Because that's what they're thinking. Everybody uses it. Okay. So that's, in a nutshell, a very simple flow of increasing buying energy from LinkedIn, etc. Now, on podcasts these days, particularly in some of the higher level ones, they have pre-call interviews. And I was being booked to get on this one, probably one of the leading ones. I don't know. We got any marketers here that know Dan Kennedy, Seth Godin, Jay Abraham? Robert Cialdini, that guy in the middle, and Rich Sheffrin. These are the upper 0.01% of people that are out there. Seth wrote the Purple Cow. Cialdini is the father of influence. So I was absolutely packing it and just honored to actually get to talk to the guy. He said, yeah, we're running about 2 or 3 months in advance. Layden recommended that I chat to you. He thought you'd be good for our podcast. So what is it that you do? And I said, well, I work with, and my horrible rehearsed script came out of my mouth. I work with these people to do this. Arms folded. So you're a sales trainer. I thought, oh, how do I resurrect this? I said, well, yeah, some of the things that we do talk about is, one of the big things that we do is help people escape the brown box syndrome. He said, so what's that? Started talking about it. And as we do that we increase the buying energy before we get from here to here. So started going down the route of my isms, the Brozoisms, the little bits of language that I've actually developed for me. They're only 10, 20% different to other people's, but it's my slant on it and it's my language. And every time I hit one of those things, you can actually see him lean closer and closer. So what's this DNQC sales formula that you talk about? Well, and we went in and could you see how that would work and how you would go from here to, he said, yeah, right, interesting, fascinating. I reckon we could probably do our interview in 2 weeks' time. Are you free? Not because I was better, certainly better than these guys, but different, interesting, energetic, intriguing. That's it. And that's the big thing, that if you're wanting to succeed beyond the passing business cards and my ideal client is networking, rah-rah, then you've actually got to say, well, who are you from an A to a Z? What is it that you've created? How do you build the buying energy? And the thing that you notice about me, and I know when I listen to my stuff back, I am not the most perfect, eloquent speaker. I got a lot of rough edges, but that's what I want as my personality. Fun, easygoing, laconic, take the P out of myself, but relatable. And that's, I've got a saying when we're doing video coaching, it's personality and passion, not perfection, that produces profits. Okay. So you can get over having to be perfect, but it's your personality and passion. And if you're going to prepare for a podcast and you've given them 5, 10 questions that might work, be ready to answer another 25. Be ready to go down whatever rabbit hole they lead. Be ready that I coach people in podcasting now. Be ready to make the podcast host the hero. Yeah. And say, Nick's my podcast host tonight. And say, Nick, you know this from all the work that you do, that when, and what I've just said is, Nick knows all this stuff. He's up here. He's not just the host. He's a guy that knows all this stuff. And then I'll rattle off something. You've got to really look at how to, and I'll do this in joint ventures in a minute. How do I make the other person look the hero, feel the hero? Because when you do that, you start playing around with the happy hormones. They're not just, I'm just trying to, you know, I had one this morning who was on leadership. It was a 5 a.m. podcast that I had to get up ready for. And it was all on leadership. And he said, look, my job here is just to highlight you and what you do, et cetera, et cetera. But the number of times that I turned it around and highlighted him and dragged him into the conversation, he got off that podcast absolutely beaming. And as you could feel his energy elevate and edify me even more, because I was not peeing in his pocket, but doing it the right way so that it's not just, okay, yeah, your job is to make me look good, isn't it? That's your job as a podcast host. No, my job as the guest is to also bring you up. And not many teach that, not many know it. And that's why I'm a guest on a high-level podcast 2 or 3 times a week. And I have not gone onto one speaker bureau booking platform in my life. So to create yourself as an in-demand guest is to make your host feel so good about you that they want to talk. Hey, listen, I've got a couple of mates that have got podcasts. You should be on here. And people do that. So that's a real key thing, that when you're in there, it's your energy and your respect for the host. And I wanted to share this one because, yeah, I could have been seen as, you're just another sales trainer. But when you've got the language, and when you know how to talk about that in your own isms, I call them, it's going to go a long way. Now, this is a blank sheet because I'm going to draw even more. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to share with you, of course, and show the path that just type in, just hit the Y button if you regularly go to networking as a part of your business growth. Because I know a lot of you didn't know the group that a lot of you are in. Yeah. Okay, cool. So a lot of people that go to networking go to a networking event, or 2 or 3. And generally they'll meet a person. And the way that I teach networking is there are 4 Ps. They could partner with you, they could promote you, they could purchase from you, or you could just pass them on. There's a 5th one that I tried to give Michael Griffiths, but he didn't take it. But the guy in England took it. It's basically partner, promote, purchase, or piss off. Know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And is this person you just need to pass on? Well, you may just need to pass on. So you hook up with a person and you may or may not do business with them. Okay. So I've gone to networking events, and I generally now only go to, I go to 3 in America, and they're fairly well paid events. One, I just keep my membership up because they keep asking me to speak, which is valuable. And then the other 2 are really good quality people. And that's really valuable for me. So here's an example, an exact example, that I was in a breakout room and there was 4 people. And I've got a fairly set formula that I personally do, and it works for me. And you may not be able to do it because of half of you are in the backward time zone, but I get on predominantly in America, and they said, well, who's going to be the timekeeper? If they haven't already said the person with the shortest hair, the longest hair, or whatever it is, I was like, look, I'll go the timekeeper because I'm already in tomorrow. Ha, 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 ha. It's a joke I use all the time. But I get to control the room. Hey, let me do it. I'll do it. I'm already in tomorrow. And I get to control the cadence of the room, shut the people down if they're going too long and things like that. So I had 1, 2, 3, and me. Okay, 3 women, and each of them, I think we got about 3 or 4 minutes. So there was a bit of time to chat. So each of them, as they were going through, they said who they wanted to meet, what they needed help with. And along the way, there would be something that I would add value to them on. Have you actually thought about doing this? Maybe if you said, this is what you did, you might be able to get more. You know, if you positioned yourself this way, would that help? And each of them, there was a little gold nugget, a little gem. So you could obviously see what I'm doing. They got a taste of what I did, so I actually didn't have to talk about it. And I was coming across from a point of being helpful. When it was my turn, the 3 ladies to a T said, Steve, you've just been doing nothing but helping us. Tell us a little bit about what you do. I said, well, you've probably seen a fair bit. I've been able to, what I did with Mary is what I do with people, and we get this result. And what I did here, we do this, and we got this result. And Nancy, from who you are and what you do and what you help, we should talk, because I do what's called closed door events, specifically for your people. Would your people like to know how to, because she was a course creator, would like to know how to sell their courses better, easier, less stress, etc. So I do specific training, and then we have a good financial arrangement. Is that something that you would be interested in? So bang, that was a yes. I did a joint venture collaboration partner. This lady here joined today. She said, Steve, I'd love to find out a lot more about what you said. So out of a room of 3 people, by instead of just saying, hey, this is who I am and this is my ideal client, listen, how I could have just given them good information and they walked away, but they walked away with the feeling of Steve really helps. Okay. And I hardly spoke about myself except how that impacted them. So that's one way of, and I'm talking about rooms, virtual. So if you're in meetings and groups and things like that, don't just look at who could be a referral partner, but who also could be a collaborative partner, a joint venture partner. Could we do events together? I'm now doing quite a few closed door events. Yeah, I'll go and train your people, give them some good information, and some of them will come and work with me. So Nancy held hers last week. So people are coming to my program. One of the guys says, hey, Steve, I'm a speaker trainer. Can you do the same for my speakers? And I thought, oh, yeah, I'll get back to you on that one. Can I phone a friend? So he's a speaker trainer and doing it there, coming from one room. Okay, being able to do the right thing with that. Another example is I was introduced to a podcast host. And the best way to make money, this is what Phil Palooka from UK coaches you, how to be how to make $1 million on podcasting. It's not how many views, it's not how many downloads, it's the deals you do with the podcast host. That's where you make your money. That's where the deals are. So I had one podcast host. He got so much out of it. He took notes on the training and he said, Steve, can we work together? Yeah, sure. I've got a few things to finish off. Can I introduce you to 6 of my high-level mastermind group? I said, sure. So I connected with one of those in particular, who we had a conversation, and those who are coming on Thursday will see the results of that. So he then put me in front of his group to work with all of them. And now I'm partnering as a partner, full-blown business partner with number 6. So the thing that I'm stressing with you here is these are all out there. You just have to listen more than who can be my next client. How many people here have seen the movie? Put DD in the chat box if you've seen the movie Dumb and Dumber. One of the best business 2 minutes of videos is in that movie. Does anybody know what 2 minutes it is? And no, it's not him sticking his tongue on the ski lift. They're walking down the road, dejected, they're lost opportunities. This bus pulls up, all these bikini-clad girls saying, we're looking for some guys to be our oil down guys. Do you know anybody? And one of them said, look, you're in luck, the town's that way. And then the bus takes off, the girls look at each other, and I forget which one it is, hit the other one, said, you are an idiot. Do you know what you've just done? And he took off, and we're obviously expecting to say, hey, pick us. He hit it as he said, my friend's an idiot. The town is actually that way. And the girls look at each other again. The bus drives off and they said, geez, there's going to be 2 lucky guys out there. He said, when are we going to catch our break? Yeah, we just have to keep our eyes open. Probably some of the most powerful business videos that nobody's ever realized. And that's the thing. If you look outside the box and look, how can I help this person? Listening to Nancy, she's got my ideal people. What can we do together? I'm going to open it up for questions, collaboration, and thoughts in a minute, and really hone in on what it is that you could possibly do. As an example, one of the guys that I met who runs a networking event is in the finance industry. And in America, that is really crashing. 30 to 35% of mortgage brokers are being laid off. They're just not writing mortgages anymore. So with Brian, he had his business in New Life Financial Alliance. We're about to launch retirement renovators, and we're actually putting on mortgage brokers. We're clamoring for them because of the things that we're doing in this whole ecosystem there. But again, it all came from a networking event to say, you do this, well, I do this. How about we do some stuff together and explore? And we've created a really massive plan and business together. We're actually partners in this that's actually going to explode. But again, if all I was doing was virtually handing out business cards and not looking for the next step past the next step, that's the focus, is to go down the track. The 2 guys, the father and son, own Paperback Expert. And this is the new blueprint that we've created together as a partnership on me doing what I do, positioning, packaging, and selling, and they do the books. Who in your ecosphere have your people? What is it that you could do together or for? Break the mold. A lot of people want to, I've got to have big webinars and I've got to have lots of people. Yeah, that's great. But I do closed door events for 10, 20 people. Just specifically for you, your people only. Do that training and they get great results. We have a great relationship and we all end up making money. So going back to the last, it all hinges around you being different, not just the brown box, not just the A, but the V. Be the prize. Go with a sense of giving, but in a way that they actually see, yeah, this is valuable. I need to talk to you more. That's all you ever want from a networking event, is people to want to talk to you more. And you need to seed in their mind what that would be. Of course, you've got to have your energy. We don't have time to talk about the blueprint conversion system, but it's the most powerful on the planet. So I want to probably spend about 5, 6, 7 minutes just workshopping your ideas. Nick, do you want to coordinate that, mate?
All right, there we go. So I'll unmute myself. Excellent. And I would have to say too, that blueprint conversion system, Steve has missed out one of the best parts of it all. I've been through all that, and yeah, it really sort of changed the way that I did my, well, sort of worked with my sales process as well. So yeah, if you can twist his arm and get him to tell you about that at some point, well worth doing that. But for now, any questions for Steve? Just open up your mic or feel free to drop it into chat, and I'll check Facebook as well too.
I've either scared you, put you to sleep, or covered everything. Either way, I think it's all rubbish.
All right, I can't see whether anyone's got any hands up, but feel free just to unmute yourself and any comments or questions.
How could I sleep, Steve, when we're in the same ballpark?
Steve,
Yeah,
sorry, Paul, go on.
no, it's all good.
Steve,
I've known Paul for many, many years and know not to take him seriously at all. So,
And I know he doesn't take me seriously, so I can get away with lots of things.
yeah, it's all good. Now, who was raising their hand or their voice?
it was me, Steve.
Yep, beautiful.
We've known each other for a little while as well, and I think you're amazing at what you do. And I'm happy to also have a chat. I have a global directory of leading experts globally, and happy to look at a collaboration of a training for them as well.
Isn't that a good example of what happens? Is people come open to share and it's like, well, what is it that we could get together to benefit your people?
Well, it ends up being a win-win-win. So it benefits not just our people, but it benefits yourself and it benefits all of us. And it can help for them to grow as well.
Yeah, the underlying desire here is to empower more people to make a bigger impact. So the ripple I do with each of them adds up to become a tsunami. And
100%.
together with Deb and I can get their people to be better at what they do and impact more people, businesses, lives, bank balances, whatever it is that we're going to do together, then it just magnifies. And I know the bit that I do makes a difference with the really good bits that the other people do. And that's, since I've squashed myself into the bits, I call myself the bookend, help people position, package, and communicate themselves as a leader and authority, and then help them sell better at the end. And the people in the middle, whatever it is, whether it's the traffic, the coaching, the books, the courses, the leadership, whatever it is in the middle, that's what they do best. And I stick to the bookends.
Yeah, I find it's always the domino effect that can make a huge, huge difference. And people don't realize it's the little things that can have such an impact on those around them as well.
Absolutely perfect. Let's make something special happen. I really am looking forward to working with you.
Done. Thanks, Steve.
And that's how it's done. Yeah.
Love your work, Rossi. Looking forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Mate, it'll be nice to be live.
Yeah, live.
Yeah, in person. And let me tell you, I have to pack a lot more things to travel to Queensland than I do to have to come down here half dressed. I was like, oh, that's right, I got to pack that. That's right.
Bring an umbrella.
It's been a while. Well, we can get on to it if there's no more questions.
There is one here in Facebook.
Good.
I just have to say that, well, it's not a question, actually. It looks like more of a comment from Susie. Thank you, Susie. Says, if you have the mindset of how can I help, it opens up so many opportunities to connect on a different level. Has to come from a genuine place, though.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. And when you do it that way and really try and draw the best out of other people, and if you can get the helping and they get the aha moments and they feel good about whatever it was that you did, then it's the next step. And Nick and I think Ron and Paul and Adam, you've all gone through some of my training. We know that at any one stage that we're only selling one thing, the next step. That's all we're selling. So in your networking, if you go in and try and sell your programs and go and sell the big picture, no, you're only selling one thing. You're selling enough intrigue and excitement for them to jump on a call. So if you just pull it back, instead of trying to sell your coaching, your courses and whatever, it's like, no, I'm just trying to sell the excitement and intrigue to get on and find out more about what I do, then that will take the pressure off trying to be pushy and salesy and trying to get too much in. Just look for that next step.
Yeah, totally agree there. And in the case of the meetings that we've been on, the 10-minute one-on-one, you don't have time to go right down that path of the details of what you do. So I almost invariably end up saying a little bit about what I do and having a lovely chat, getting to know each other. And then look at that, we're running out of time. When would you like to catch up again after the meeting tomorrow, next week? And that's where you can, spend half an hour, which sometimes turns into an hour. If you get on, well, you get on, You're building relationships.
Any quick tips, Steve, on how to develop, that one, what do you call it, elevator pitch or whatever it happens to be, that is that intrigue?
Have you ever seen a business person or a business struggle to stand out in a crowded market and really competing on price, yet 3 months later, they've got a queue of high-paying, high-value clients just wanting to do business with them? My name's Steve Brosman, the sales innovator, and I create those people. That's one way of doing it. Ask the question, have you ever seen somebody with problem, yet in a short period of time, they've got a solution? My name is, and I create those people. Perfect. Because the minute you ask a question, what? It's a pattern interrupt. I mean, there's a lot more to it. I just pulled that one out, but there's a heap of others that you could have. But the first thing is, whenever I've used that question one in groups, people would come and say, wow, I loved your elevator pitch. They don't remember what I said. They just know that it was different. Most people say, hi, my name is, I do this, I do this. Yes, Steve Brosman from stevebrosman.com. And anybody that says that, the next person is invariably trying to rehearse theirs. They're not listening to you. They're rehearsing theirs. Yeah, admit it. Yes, I do that, don't I? Yes, I do. Yeah. So when you ask a question, the brain cannot, this is the neuroscience again coming back out, the brain cannot help but answer it. Have you ever seen? And all of a sudden, you've got them for the next 10 to 20, 30 seconds.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's probably, I reckon, all we've got time for. I'm sure that as we get off tonight, there'll be those questions that come in the middle of the night. I thought, I should have just asked that. So in that case, Steve, how do people get in touch with you?
Here's one I prepared earlier. Look, for those on the Gold Coast who haven't heard already from Nick and the other people around them, I'm going to be up there Thursday afternoon doing 3 hours hands-on workshopping, pulling this apart, mainly on the blueprint conversion system, position, package, help sell, lots of case studies, worksheets, and doing all that. So if you want to get a hold of me, come along there. If not, as I said to Guy this morning, I'm just real old-fashioned. Send me an email, steve@stevebrosman.com, or connect with me on LinkedIn, Steve Brosman. I keep it all the same so I can remember it. But that's it. And I'm one of these old-fashioned people. I actually will reply and connect back with you. But come and connect with me on LinkedIn. And even though I'll recognize most of your faces, or if you send me the message, I'll reply to you with one line And then you'll see exactly how I would reply to you if you were just somebody connecting with me. So you'll see the whole flow if you want to do that and see how I do it. So that would be a lot of fun.
Fantastic. And so we've dropped the link into chat for those that are going to be on the Gold Coast this Thursday. It's Thursday afternoon. I dropped the link into chat there for you to go and book. Now, here's the extra special thing with that as well, too. That's been sponsored by Coffee News Australia. Anyone's been to a cafe and picked up that little Coffee News flyer, which have got the jokes and the tidbits of trivia in it. The person that owns and runs that lives on the Gold Coast. Her name is Denise Maloney. She's putting on this event. She invited Steve up to come and speak. And she rang me just this afternoon and said that anyone that books that through the link that I've just dropped into chat will also get a free 3-day, 4-night holiday. So she's got a holiday promotion thing. She's got a whole package of holidays. It's around Australia, so you can pick anywhere around Australia, and it's a free holiday. She did say to mention that you do have to pay the GST, so that you just have to pay the taxes, the GST, but all the rest of it's free. The accommodation is all 100% free, but that's only if you book through that link that we have dropped into chat. So it's not a draw, not a competition. If you book, you'll get that free sort of 3-day, 4-night holiday as well too. So incredibly generous, but she wants you there and I'll be there as well.
You say that because it's my event that they have to take me?
I think there was no mention of that, but that's a good suggestion, Steve.
I just thought I'd ask.
All right, and what we will do as well too is we do have a lucky draw prize, a door prize, as we always do. And Steve, what is that?
I sent it up, but I'm going to go one step further. Is further than what I had done. I'm going to give the latest back pocket guide, how to sell yourself without selling your soul, and a complete 1-hour authority unpack with me on Zoom.
Fantastic. All right. And all right. So that's that back pocket guide and a session with you on Zoom, which if you haven't spoken to Steve before, you'll go away with your head exploding full of ideas. I know that I did, and I've still got some more to implement. So we have a special way of drawing this as ever. And anyone want this, by the way, just give us a show of hands if that's something that you're interested in. If you're not, we can just take your name out of the draw. All right. It looks like everyone wants it. I can't see all the faces of those that have not got their faces showing. All right. Remember, you have to be in the room to win this. So if you have left, then we redraw it. Actually, if we've left, you won't know, will you? All right. Virtual drum roll, please. We've got all of your names in the wheel of names. And let's see who our lucky winner is tonight. And that would be Pam Andrews. Yahoo!
Oh, Pammy.
And Pam's in the room as well, too. Excellent. Do you know each other, do you?
I've seen the name around. I've seen her around. I'm actually married to a Pam.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, Pam, it is your lucky night. You get that back pocket guide. That's a bit of a mouthful to say that, isn't it? And session there with Steve. So for the rest of us, come and join me on Thursday afternoon. I'll be there with Steve to learn a whole lot more as well. The link is in chat, which means that it's going to be a great time to save the chat with those 3 little dots on the bottom right-hand side.
Got to do that.
If you have enjoyed this evening and maybe you missed something or you want to watch it again, it will be up on YouTube tomorrow. So tomorrow afternoon, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, the link is in chat now. Just go there, subscribe to it. When you do subscribe, hit the bell, and that will mean that you'll get a notification as soon as the video or the replay is up there. So that's on the Smash Go YouTube channel. And we have next week, we have JD, or John Dwyer from the Institute of WOW. He's going to be speaking to us about incentive-based marketing. You are definitely going to want to come along and see that. I saw him on the weekend, and the ideas that he's got for incentive-based marketing are absolutely sort of sensational. If you don't know who JD is, anyone remember the Greater Bank and Jerry Seinfeld? promoting Greater Bank, and the Greater Bank gave away a holiday with every single home loan that they wrote. And so that was JD put that together. That ran successfully for 10 years. And there's been no other bank that's run that promotion ever since then. And they got an incredible share of the market, even though they weren't the cheapest. So they weren't advertising the cheapest interest rate. All they had was the holiday. So he put that all together. He's got a whole lot of other examples as well too that he will share on the night. And he's got a pretty good incentive for everybody that comes along on that night as well too. So go there and register. We'll have that all up there. So you can probably go and register tonight. I think that we'll put the link up. If not tonight, it'll be there tomorrow. It's the same link that you used to register for this one here. So again, there we go. Yes, listen to JG 2 weeks ago, and it was really good deal. Yes, no, he's got something really special for us next week as well too, which he's going to bring along too. So well worth coming along to that one. And if you're wondering about whether you should invite people along to this event, that would also, apart from tonight being the one that you should have really invited people along to, next week is going to be one where if you invite people along, they are going to thank you for doing that as well too. All right, that link is in chat as well. So once again, thank you, Steve, for sharing your evening with us tonight. I know it's an hour later down where you are, and you're going to be flying up here to come and reclaim some time tomorrow. So just remember, we've got that on Thursday afternoon. If you are in Gold Coast Thursday afternoon, or even if you're not, make the special trip to come and see Steve in person. Mention that you saw him here on the session tonight. And if you book through that link, as I say, you'll get a free holiday for thrown in as well too. All right, that's it for tonight. That is Business Owners Smashing It Online. Thanks again, Steve, for sharing your wisdom. Thanks everyone for coming along tonight, and look forward to seeing you online and seeing you next week if we don't see you this Thursday. Have a great night.
Awesome. Thanks Steve.
Great job,
Thanks,
buddy.
Nick.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, crew.
Thank you for tuning in and listening to the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast. You can also find me on social media and online. Just search for Business Owners Smashing It Online and Nick Cree, spelled Nikcree, all one word. If you like this and want to hear more, subscribe now. Until next time, don't be a slave to your business. Get your business working for you.